I saw a movie, another one, so that you don't have to. And you know what? You probably don't have to. Fast X is, well, it's a movie. Let's get into it. Here we go. Let's start here. If you like very long action sequences, if you like lots of crazy fighting, if you like a lot of things that defy the laws of nature and physics, then this is your franchise. And it has been that way since probably about the sixth, well, maybe the fifth film. And what's interesting is, and this is a little spoilery, but I'm going to try to avoid spoilers, you do get a little bit of the Fast Five in this film. And there's a reason for it, a backstory reason. But I'm not going to spoil that for you. I'm just going to tell you that the villain is an interesting character. I have to say that the people that you appreciate being in these films are in these films. The only notable absence, of course, would be The Rock, because Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel just don't get along. And I'm going to warn you right now, this is a two-parter. Fast 10 is part 1. Fast 11 is apparently going to wrap up the franchise, and I would say needed to wrap around 6 or 7. The adventure for this film is epic. As with pretty much all of the more recent Fast films, this film takes place in many different locations, and they actually seem to go to many of those locations, some familiar and some new. And that's kind of been a hallmark for the way this franchise has gone over the last few years. This will have a lot of international appeal, and I'm starting to understand why they don't think that domestically is going to do very well. It will, of course, perform, and there are a lot of guys that are gearheads that really appreciate the automotive power in this film. And there's a lot of gadgets. This kind of mixes more James Bond types of things into the mix than I think James Bond has in quite some time. In fact, I often thought that James Bond became Jason Bourne wanting to be Fast and the Furious. It seems like this franchise has gone the other direction. But a lot of your favorite characters are here. And I'm going to tell you, some of them deliver good performances. But at many points, the dialogue is incredibly cringe. And, well, I almost walked out about the first hour. I got to a certain point where I'm like, this is just too dumb. But I will say this, there was a presence in this film that I thought contributed quite a bit, and I was very surprised. And I'm referring to Brie Larson. Yeah, Brie is in this film, and she does a good job, and that's surprising. I know that she can act, and she did that this time around. Of course, Jason Momoa is brilliant in the role that he's playing, and then all of your favorites play all of their same characters, and on and on. The adventure finds the entire family at risk, and it all is because of one of their previous adventures. And that seems to be the other formulaic thing about this franchise. Whatever they did in the past comes back to bite them in the end. And in this situation, and this is not a spoiler at all, Vin's out because it's all about family. So just be prepared for that. A lot of stuff is over the top, but if you really enjoy auto performance, if you enjoy wonderful stunts and lots of things exploding, this is your jam. If you like chick fights, you get a couple of good ones in here. You might like those as well. And I have to say, it was a movie. It was in focus. It had great cinematography. Again, the dialogue was terrible. It was overly long. It didn't need to be over 2 hours, but that seems to be the thing now with Hollywood. It probably cost an awful lot of money, but this thing's going to go gangbusters internationally, and it will not surprise me if it eclipses 700 million. It wouldn't even surprise me if it made $1 billion, but it's not going to make that kind of money here in the States. Again, I can see why they kind of put the brakes on what they thought the domestic open would be. I still think it'll be higher than they imagine, but after that, poor word of mouth is going to get out. Now, if you're an absolute fan of the franchise, go see the movie in the theater. There probably is no better way to see it. But if you're just a casual fan of these films, you can wait for streaming or, your pay channels, and I don't think you're going to miss very much. And to be fair, I could give you all of the spoilers right now, and you would basically say beat for beat, this is just another Fast film, and not be surprised by anything I say. I'm not going to spoil the surprise at the end. That would be unfair. But like I said, you're left with a cliffhanger, And the setup for what I think, and I think it's been announced, is the final film of the franchise, The Last Rodeo. I wonder if they'll have an actual rodeo. Another wonderful performance I thought in this was Charlize Theron. I thought she did a great job. I also think John Cena did a great job being John Cena, but that's to be expected. Anyway, there's not a lot else to talk about here other than to give it my rating. And I'll be very fair about this. I have a 5-star system. This is 2.5, maybe 3. If I were going to rate it on a 10-point system, like a lot of people do, I would probably put it somewhere between a 5 and a 5.5, to be fair. So if that sounds like your kind of movie, go see it. If not, I understand. Anyway, another film that I saw, so you don't have to. Also, be on the lookout for the 3rd video about streaming, which will be coming out very soon. And spoiler alert, it's going to involve the biggest streamer on the planet. And with that, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye.
Today, be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.